What's up? My name is Alien Duckling, and welcome back to my Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 Stardom series. Now, we're starting off with what might be a bit somber news, as when I was going through and signing some commentators and just making sure everything was ready for our next two shows that we're going to be doing this video, I received this email. Fukigen Death has announced that she'll be retiring from active competition in 3 months. Now, it is possible to have her reconsider her upcoming retirement, so we're going to see if we're able to do that, because I wanted Fukigen Death to be in a position where she's going to elevate our younger and lesser experienced workers, everybody from Mina Shirakawa to Lady C to Hina, Rina, Hanan, Ruika, just anybody that sort of needs that rub from somebody with experience. I wanted her to be in that kind of situation. But if she's planning to retire, then that kind of leaves us with nobody to fill that role. So we're going to go ahead. I'd like you to reconsider, and she says no. That is a little unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. I would like to, okay. She's now a road agent. So, at the very least, she's going to be able to use her, decently high psychology stat to help out in another way when she does inevitably retire. But we do have 3 months before that happens. Well, it's 2 months and 3 weeks at this point. But retirement of Kaori Yoneyama aside, we do have some shows to get into, specifically Shining Stars Night 5 and Night 6, which is what we're going to be doing in this video. So without further ado, let's jump into that. Alright, and here we are at the show. It's a typical 5-match Stardom card, minus the angle that we have going on after the main event, which I can't spoil you on. We'll see more action in the Future of Stardom tournament, just one match this time. I didn't realize how much time we actually have before Shining Destiny, so I don't want to rush everything going forward. But now we jump in to the show, and it begins with 3-way action as usual, as Fukigen Death, Hanan, and Lady C meet in the ring. It had subpar wrestling and little heat, but it is Hanan getting the victory after submitting Lady C with a cross arm breaker. Fukigen Death carried the match as you might expect, with a 51, Hanan 26, Lady C at 20. 41 for the segment rating. Not bad at all. It's actually pretty good for our starting match. This is the kind of one thing I'm going to miss about having Fukigen wrestle, is that she is going to just give these high segment ratings for people that can't really hold their own in the ring. It's an unfortunate loss, but maybe we'll find another Joshi legend willing to take her place down the line. Oh lord. Hina and Rina meet for the Future of Stardom Championship Tournament. 2 women that have met a lot throughout their careers. They are twin sisters. They know each other like the backs of their hands, but apparently they don't know how to put on a good match. In the end, it is Rina defeating Hina with the hydrangea, that being Hanekimura's submission. Hina with an 18, Rina with a 21 for a segment rating of 17 once you tack on the bout dragging in the middle due to no psychology, Hina being off her game, and the twin sisters of all pairings not clicking in the ring. There goes my entire future of the company, because Hina versus Rina is a match that everybody wants to see main event the Tokyo Dome one day, and apparently they don't click in the ring. I'm not sure how this is figured out. I'm not sure the logic behind it, but little bit of an interesting situation. 17 hopefully won't kill our show completely, kill the crowd or anything, but we move on nonetheless, and a good match is up next as Oedo Tai's Natsuko Tora, Konami, and Ruika meet with stars Mayu Iwatani, Koguma, and Starlight Kid. Decent wrestling, not much heat, as Oedo Tai pick up the victory with Konami submitting Koguma with her triangle arm lock submission. 47 segment rating is not bad, as you would expect from their last match as well. Konami and Mayu really being the ones to raise that rating up. Natsuko Tora and Starlight Kid both in the 40 region, Ruika and Koguma down in the 30s. Not bad at all, given their experience levels and their stats and everything. I'm really happy with how this match turned out. A 47 is a very solid rating for just a mid-card match. And speaking of solid ratings, wow, 52 for this one, as Saya Kamitani and Azumi meet with Tam Nakano and Unagi Sayaka of Cosmic Angels. So another clash preluding Saya Kamitani versus Tam Nakano for the Wonder of Stardom title at Shining Destiny. And it is Azumi getting the victory over Unagi Sayaka, defeating her with an Azumi Sushi. Azumi and Tam really holding up the match. 51 and 56 respectively for them, Saya with a 38, Unagi with a 32. Not bad at all. Not bad at all for any of them, really. Very good match to prelude the main event, which hopefully will not disappoint either. And our main event is Utami Hayashishita and Momo Watanabe of Queen's Quest meeting with Donna Del Mondo's Shuri and Natsupoi. And in the end, it is Momo Watanabe getting the victory as she pins Natsupoi with her Peach Sunrise, that is like a pump handle half Nelson suplex. Segment rating was 55, held up by, I'd say, the incredible work of all four women in this match. Nobody that shy of a 50, Natsupoi with a 49 as the lowest. Momo 52, Shuri 53 as the highest of the match, and Utami 51. Very close in ratings, all of them were, and equaled out to a 55, which is really good for our main event. But we have something else to close the show. So after the match, Utami Hayashishita takes the microphone and she says, "Listen, Shuri, I've beaten you twice now out of our 3 tag team matches. You've teamed with Himeka, you've teamed with Maika, and you've teamed with Natsupoi. The only member of Donna Del Mondo left is Julia, and you two are the Goddess of Stardom tag team champions." Utami continues basically just saying, if you're going to be challenging for my title, I want to challenge for yours. And I want myself and Saya Kamitani to be next in line for those titles. And whether it's tomorrow night or it's next weekend, Saya and myself are going to regain our gold. So Shuri, being the confident fighter that she is, accepts the challenge. She says that whenever there's an opening on the card, it's going to be her and Julia against Utami and Saya, which does gain the ire of Momo Watanabe a bit. She just defeated Natsupoi, and now she's being shoved to the side for Utami's preferred tag team partner, that being Saya Kamitani, who has her own stuff to worry about. So, annoyed Momo doesn't say anything, she just kind of looks on, a little disappointed. And that is what brings a close to our show. 52 rating overall is not bad, especially considering our absolute dud of a match 2 between Rina and Hina, and our segment that kind of struggled because of Utami and Momo not working well without their scripts. It's process of figuring that out. Sometimes people are going to do better with scripts, sometimes they'll do better without. Overall, I believe this is our best show by a good bit. It increased our popularity in 17 regions, and now we're going to be moving on to the next one. Alright, here we are for the second show of the video, and the card we have is pretty solid. We're going to be seeing the final first round match of the Future of Stardom tournament, as well as our main event being for the Goddess of Stardom Championship. So without further ado, let's jump in. And starting the show, we have a 4-way match as Hanan, Maika, Saki Kashima, and Unagi Sayaka, all from different units, meet in the ring. In the end, it is Saki Kashima able to get the victory as she pins Hanan with My Emblem. 41 segment rating, Maika the highest, Saki and Unagi not far behind, and Hanan doing pretty good with a 30. Saki off her game as well. She is surprisingly one of the better workers on the roster in this database. Very strong start to the show, a 41 rating. And now we move on. And in the final first round match of the Future of Stardom tournament, it is Mina Shirakawa meeting with Ruika, and in the end, Mina is able to score the victory, defeating Ruika in just over 10 minutes with an implant DDT. Both in the 30 region, Ruika with 33, Mina with 37, totals out to a 34, which is, again, not bad. The Future of Stardom title is, we're not expecting great matches out of it. It's just to sort of put something on those that are working their way up. You make them motivated for something. And while it is used typically for, some of the lesser experienced grown-up workers in real-life Stardom, I do want to give the children their fair shot at the gold as well. Next up is a tag match pitting Queen's Quest's Momo Watanabe and Azumi, known as Momo Azu, versus Himeka and Natsupoi, who occasionally go by the team name of Himepoi, and in a match with decent wrestling and not that much heat, it is Azumi picking up the victory for her team, pinning Natsupoi with Azumi Sushi for a 47 rated match. Everyone did pretty solid. Himeka was the worst of the match, but still pretty good with a 43. Momo and Azumi both in the 50s, Natsupoi not far behind. And following the match, Azumi takes a microphone and she basically says, listen, Momo may have been a bit of a coward last night and not just outright challenged Julia and Shuri after Utami basically just shoved her aside and said she was going to team with Saya. But I'm not the type of woman to stand for that. So while I don't have any ill will towards Utami or towards Saya, if they don't win tonight, Momo and myself are next in line to challenge for those titles, and I don't care about anybody that says otherwise. So you two go pass on that message to Julia and Shuri that if they somehow survive tonight, we will be waiting for them. Azumi enjoyed her freedom going off script. She performed well there. 30 rating. Not the best promos on the Stardom roster, unfortunately. We're holding it up with our great wrestling. A 30 is not bad at all, I would say, for just a promo in the middle of the show like this. And in a very good match, just ahead of our main event, Natsuko Tora teams with Konami to represent Oedo Tai, taking on the MK sisters, that being Mayu Iwatani and Starlight Kid. And it is Konami again getting the victory as she submits Starlight Kid with the same hold that took out Koguma last night. Mayu was head and shoulders above everybody in the match, scoring a 67 rating, which is amazing. Konami 55 as the second highest, Tora and Starlight Kid both with 41. A 52 rating overall is pretty good. Konami was off her game as well, so it could have been better. But I'm certainly not going to complain about a 52. That is great. And now we move on to our main event, where the team of Utami Hayashishita and Saya Kamitani, known as Aphrodite, team up against Julia and Shuri for the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles. And it was a pretty decent match, but Julia and Shuri are able to retain after Shuri pins Saya with a Shin Seijin clutch. Saya was the weak link of the match, as you might expect, scoring a 39. Utami the best at 55. Julia and Shuri tied for second with 52. And I think this match could have been a lot better if Utami decided not to cuck Momo and give her the opportunity instead. But jokes aside, 48 is not that bad for our main event. And our show rating gets a 47, increasing our popularity in 16 regions this time. Any popularity increase is good, especially if there's no fall as well. So pretty solid show for Shining Stars Night 6. And here we are the following day. I don't believe anything of note has taken place. We are still in the red for our expenditure, but hopefully that's going to climb with our big show coming up. Before Shining Destiny, we have 2 more shows to go through, that being Night 7 and Night 8 of the Shining Stars Tour. That is where we'll see the semifinals of the Future of Stardom Championship Tournament, which culminates at Shining Destiny. And who knows, depending on how quick they want their opportunity, we might see Momo Azu challenging for the Goddess of Stardom titles as well, which would certainly keep Shuri and Julia both pretty busy. But that is all for this video. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and as always, leave any suggestions in the comments below, whether that be for people to sign to the company, or feuds and matches that you would like to see going forward. I always appreciate the support. Subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter if you want me in your feed once a month, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.